Hello, please respond if it's audible. Hello, all of you. Please respond if it's audible. Okay. So we were in the third slide. We were in the infrastructure based system that we had completed. Now let us see what is meant by infrastructure less system. So infrastructure less system is actually will be like the ad hoc network, and you can see there in the right side of the screen there is no base station. So it is only the nodes, that is laptop nodes, sensor node, laptop, tablet, laptop, PCs, and all other things. And there is no centralized base station. So it is like a college without a principal. So everybody, every other person, every student, every HOD, every person in the institute takes his or her own decision. So that will be kind of a chaos, kind of a system, if there is no centralized control or there is no base station. So this will be the ideal ad hoc system where there is no base station or centralized control. Every node can communicate with each other, and in this case the medium access control has to be highly smart, so that every node can talk with each other and there is no disturbances. Okay, because there will be a lot of collision of data and other things in this case, in case of ad hoc network, but then also the communication is possible. Next, let us see what is meant by wireless ad hoc network. So in this case, this is the next slide, slide number 3. What you can find is this is actually the ad hoc network where there is no base station, and all these are nodes. They are called intermediate nodes and all. So all these intermediate nodes can talk to each other. So collection of different wireless enabled nodes. Now possible that some nodes will be having RF communication, some node will be having ZB communication, and some node might be having LoRa communication. This is also possible that not all nodes are having same communication protocol. In that case, that becomes a highly complex kind of a network. What is the characteristic of wireless ad hoc network? It is saying that it is dynamic topology. Dynamic means mobile. So there is always a motion related to all these nodes. So all the nodes will be moving each other in one direction or the other, and then also they will be able to communicate with each other. So this is one type of communication thing. And source node takes help of other intermediate nodes to send information from one to other node. So this is the sender node, you can see in the left side of the screen, and that wants to send the information to the destination. So between the sender and the destination, there are a lot of intermediate nodes. So this sender node will take the help of intermediate nodes, and you can say that I'm showing it is a bidirectional communication. So each node can receive or transmit message to anybody. So there are two kinds of communication possible. One is the sender node directly sends the information to the destination node. So there is a long path of single communication, or there are multi-hop. What is meant by hop? So this sender to this node is one hop. This sender to this node is another hop. This sender to this node is another hop. And from this node to the destination is another hop. So this sender can send the information in 4 hops to the destination. So these hops are single small hops. And there can be another path. So this sender is sending information to this node and then through upper nodes and all the upper nodes to the destination. So from source to destination, there can be some 3, 4, 5 different routes. And there is a very intelligent algorithms are there by which what we can do is which one is the best path to send the data from the transmitter to the receiver. That also you have seen, there will be Dijkstra algorithm and all, shortest path algorithm. With that we can send the information from the sender to the receiver with the shortest time, shortest path, all those things are there. But one very important thing in this case you can find out is there is no base station, there is no indirect communication, all communications are direct. This is actually wireless ad hoc network, and this is the infrastructure less network. What are the network characteristics? All nodes can talk to each other. Talk to each other means can send information to the other and receive information from the other. So all nodes can talk to each other. Nodes can move. So here the very important and most critical concept of ad hoc sensor network is coming, that is the mobility. Now this is a static network, but it is possible that suddenly the sender node shifts to left or right. In that case, the whole network configuration, whole communication links, the whole thing will change. So each of these node can be mobile. Mobile means movable. In that case, the network topology, what is meant by network topology? How all the sensor nodes are placed in, so what kind of look this all the node together is giving, that is called as network topology. And if all the nodes are moving in left right any direction, up down, in that case it's called as a dynamic network topology. Okay, so nodes can move, that is one thing in the ad hoc network. Third thing, self-organizing and self-configuring. I told you that this is like a college without a principal. In that case, every node has to take its own decision. And if I want to send some data from here to my destination, then which path I am supposed to choose, which are the intermediate nodes I am supposed to choose. So all those decisions have to be taken by the sender node itself, because there is no centralized base station. Peer nodes relay information. So what is meant by peer? Peer means this is a sender node and all these other things which are nearby to it, they are called as peer node or supporting nodes, or together they are forming a network. That's why all these nodes are called as peer nodes. So peer nodes are helping relaying the information from sender to the receiver. And last thing, multi-hop infrastructure less network. Multi-hop means I told you from the sender to the receiver, if this is the path, sender, this is peer 1, peer 2, peer 3, and then receiver. So from sender to the receiver, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. So after 4 hop through 3 peers, the information is sent from the sender to receiver. So this is called as a multi-hop network. This is also called as a multi-path network. What is meant by multi-path? From sender to the receiver, there are many ways, because between source and destination, there are many paths. So what are the multi-paths? One path can be from the sender to the directly to the receiver, path 1. Second path, sender to this, all these 3 peer nodes and destination. Third path, from sender nodes, all this there, then suddenly after this, it will take a route and it will go here and then come. This is path 3. And then from the sender and to the all upper nodes, it will go to the receiver. So this is path 4. So there can be many paths. So there are 2 things you can again write down. One is called as multi-path and one is called as multi-hop. Multi-hop means the jump. Hop means jump from one point to the other. Okay. So many jumps in one path, that is called as multi-hop path, and many paths from sender to the destination, that is called as multi-path propagation. So these are the network characteristic for ad hoc wireless network. And then what we can find is what is meant by application or application field for this ad hoc network. Okay, it is said that it is fast setup of network required. So network, all this communication has to be very fast. Data transmission, data reception can be very fast. In those cases where data transmission, data reception required is very fast, we can put this ad hoc network there. Or suppose just say it's a military application. In military application, let us say in the border, very fast, within a very short time, we have to set up a communication network. In that case, we can use ad hoc network in those cases. Second point, you can see in the time of emergency or relief. Suppose there is a flood, one whole area has been flooded, and we want to just find out if there is anything underwater. So we can deploy a sensor network in that. So time of emergency, very fast setup of network wherever is required. In those cases, we can find out, we can deploy a ad hoc network. Okay. So no access to network infrastructure. There is no infrastructure, there is no base station, there is no generator at the base station. Every node has to have its own battery. Every node has to have its own communication unit. Okay, so all the resources that a node require for its transmission reception has to be within the network itself. And the biggest problem with wireless ad hoc network is the battery gets exhausted very fast. Okay, and that is a very important thing. So no access to the network infrastructure, or there is no constant replenishment of resources in the ad hoc wireless network. Battery cannot be replaced now and then every time. Okay, so very constrained environment, that is actually the characteristic of ad hoc network. Very constrained, in very much constrained or restricted movement, restricted communication, data transfer, restricted power. All those things are the characteristics of ad hoc network. Not much planning possible. You cannot plan much, because all these nodes can be moving, all those nodes can be moving from here and there, all those nodes can be talking to each other very fast and other things. So you cannot plan much with the mobile ad hoc network, and not much time is there, because the network changes its topology in such a very fast manner that you cannot say anything is fixed for a ad hoc network. So ad hoc is actually the opposite of permanent. So nothing is fixed in case of ad hoc network, not its battery, not its communication, not its position. Everything is highly dynamic, and within that also we have to do the communication. Within that environment also we have to keep the communication links up and transmit the data from the transmitter to the receiver. That is a very highly challenging environment, is ad hoc wireless sensor network. Last line you can find out that example, that September 11 New York Twin Tower collapse. After the collapse, relief operation, first sensor network was deployed. They found if there is any alive person below the debris and all, or in desert area if we are trying to do some relief operation, or if you are trying to find out what is happening in a jungle or what is happening in forest fire. In all those cases, in disastrous or emergency kind of cases, first we can deploy the sensor network, we can get the local information, and then we can start the rescue or relief operation. So this is another part of this subject. So first part is ad hoc network, second is wireless network, and this is more or less the characteristics of wireless ad hoc. This is another classification. So first classification was infrastructure based, infrastructure less. That is one type of classification of wireless network. Second was in the previous thing we had just said in the previous slide, we have seen dynamic and wireless ad hoc network and permanent network. In this case, we are finding it is called as homogeneous network and heterogeneous network. In the left side, you can see what is meant by homogeneous network. Suppose all these nodes are mobile phones. All these nodes, all these three nodes are mobile phone. There is no other node. There is no circuit. There is no laptop. There is no PC. So only one type of nodes are here. So in this case, this is only a smartphone network. So this will be called as a homogeneous network. Whereas in this case, you can find this is a smartphone. This is a normal phone. This might be a tablet. There might be a PC. There might be a laptop. So within a network, if the nodes are different, network of PC, tablet, phones, all those things, if they are different, then we can say that this is a heterogeneous network. So nodes with different capability, then we can call it a heterogeneous network. And all similar type of node, all same type of nodes, if they are designing one overall system or network, that is called as homogeneous network. What we can find is after homogeneous and heterogeneous network, we can check what are the different features of this kind of wireless ad hoc network. So towards the below of this slide, you can find out what are the features of ad hoc sensor network. So ad hoc network and ad hoc sensor network, they are same. So ad hoc network is a type of distributed wireless network. What is meant by distributed? Distributed is opposite of centralized. Centralized means there is a central control. Always remember, college with principal is a centralized network, and college without principal is a distributed network. If there is no principal in the college, in that case the HODs become the in charge of those departments. So instead of a central control, what we apply is a distributed control. Okay, so ad hoc sensor networks are kind of a distributed control wala wireless network. Okay. So this ad hoc things, they are operating on time division multiplexing. So time division multiplexing means suppose there are 4 transmitter and 4 receiver. The first transmitter and first receiver will be connected. So data transmission will happen from the first transmitter to the first receiver. In the next moment, second transmitter will transmit data to the second receiver. And in that time, in the second moment, connection between first transmitter and first receiver is broken. In the next moment, second transmitter and second receiver is the communication. In the next moment, second is broken, third transmitter and third receiver will be talking to each other. So likewise, and after 4, again it will come back to 1. So there are 4 transmitters, there are 4 receivers. At one moment of time, only one transmitter and one receiver, they talk to each other. And remaining data links are kept. So that is called as time division multiplexing. What is meant by duplex? Duplex means forward and reverse. Both type of communication are possible. You can see in this slide all these arrows I have shown as duplex. So among these two nodes, one node can be acting as a transmitter one time, and the other node can be acting as a receiver. In the next instant itself, the other node can be acting as a transmitter, and the previous node can act as a receiver. So it is like a duplex. So what is meant by time division duplex? It is using time division for multiplexing thing, and any node can be transmitter and any node can be receiver at any point of time. Okay, so that is meant by duplex. So time division duplex is called as TDD. Next time onwards, we will be using this word TDD, means time division duplex. Okay, so it is possible to receive and possible to transmit at the same time, that is there. So all the data can be transmitted and received at the same time. Now next what we can find is in the next slide. Okay, in this there are two more features given towards below. One is the peer nodes communicate with each other using single hop technology. What is meant by single hop technology? Between transmitter to receiver there will be only one jump. Okay, so that's called single hop or one jump. And what are the communication protocols? Now these things you can write down. Very important thing. That is what communication protocols used can be Bluetooth, it can be Zigbee, and this is a protocol most widely used communication protocol in ad hoc, that is IEEE 802.11. See, there will be quizzes during this lecture sessions or after the lecture sessions, and there will be quizzes in your IA also. So there are a lot of small short questions hint I'll be giving during the lecture. So these are one thing, that is Bluetooth, Zigbee and IEEE 802.11. These are communication standards which are used in ad hoc network. So please write this down, that Bluetooth, Zigbee and IEEE 802.11. So these are working in ad hoc mode, not in Wi-Fi mode. So Wi-Fi and ad hoc mode, what are the difference? Wi-Fi mode is actually a infrastructure based mode, and ad hoc mode is actually an infrastructure less node. So Wi-Fi mode is actually having a central access point or central router. Ad hoc mode is not having a central access point. Okay, these are the differences. Nodes outside the single hop range communicate using sequence of intermediate nodes. So what we are finding is, if the nodes are distant between the transmitter and receiver, there are huge distance, then other peer nodes are helping the data transfer. The same thing I am repeating since the previous slide, and it will be the repetition kind of a thing, but that you have to understand. Okay, so node outside the single hop range, that means if it's transmitter and receiver, they are quite far off. In those cases, what we find is the communicate using the intermediate peer nodes. Okay, so there's a last slide we are doing. Actually, I lost some 5-10 minutes in between. We'll just compensate it. This is the last slide we are doing this hour of lecture. What are the different communication technology that we can use for this kind of ad hoc communication? One important thing is you have to remember the range, you have to remember the data rate and name of the technology. So you can see here, these are the communication things we are using. So first we are using Zigbee. So it can be single hop, it can be multi-hop. Within the range it will be single hop, and outside the range it will be multi-hop. So first is Zigbee, and please write down this thing, that Zigbee is given by IEEE 802.15.4. Okay. So IEEE 802.15.4 is the IEEE protocol name for Zigbee communication, and this is for short range. So for your project, this kind of things are very important. So we ask how much is the communication range for Zigbee. So Zigbee is generally for 100 meter, but now there are Zigbee ICs which can even communicate for 1 kilometer also. But this is as per your book of Manoj, they are saying Zigbee is 100 meter, it's okay, and data rate. So communication engineers, please be very careful that name of the communication thing, range and data rate. These three things you must remember for all the communication protocols. Like if I say Bluetooth, Bluetooth is given by 802.15.1. So 802.15.4 is Zigbee, 802.15.1 is Bluetooth, and this is for personal area network. So you are having a laptop and you are having a wireless printer. So they are kept very close together. Directly you can use Bluetooth technology to print from your laptop to the printer. So this is second technology. Next is coming 802.11. What is this thing called? This is called high speed medium range MANET. Okay, so MANET is nothing but mobile network. Okay, so it's a mobile ad hoc network. Okay, so this 802.11 is actually network interface card. So 802.11 was initially designed for kind of a very local kind of a network. Okay, and this is most widely used network for directional antennas, MIMO technology, OFDM. All those things are falling under this 802.11. So this is in 802.11 in ad hoc mode that we are using for communication purpose. What is MIMO? What is OFDM? Orthogonal frequency division? All those things we'll be seeing later on. But initially, just remember this third thing, which is 802.11. And there is another fourth protocol which is called as 802.16. This is high speed wide range communication, or this is called as WAN. So four names I have given you: 802.15.4 Zigbee, 802.15.1 it is Bluetooth, 802.11 it is called as high speed medium range wide availability network interface card, and this was a very primitive initial kind of a thing. And last one is 802.16, which is called as a high speed wide range communication kind of a thing. And this slide is important because this slide is giving you all the comparison between all those things. So here you can find out. So previous slide, whatever I have shown, all those things have been put together in this slide. So Zigbee 802.15.4 application is home automation for Zigbee. Data rate is 250 kbps and range is 100 meter. And what is the configuration? Master slave. What is the other feature? Long battery life. Bluetooth data rate is 1 mbps and RS-232 cable can be used for this if it's wireless, if it's wired. And for Bluetooth, the range can be maximum 100 meter. And what is the configuration? It is actually forming a Piconet. Lastly, 802.11, it's a single hop network and data rate is very high. It is 54 mbps. So Zigbee is 250 kbps, Bluetooth is 1 mbps, 802.11 is 54 mbps. And what is the range? Range is 100 to 200 meter. Configuration is peer-to-peer and expensive, not so expensive hardware. So 7-layer of OSI TCP IP architecture can be borrowed from this ad hoc architecture. So you have already known what is meant by TCP IP architecture. You know what are the 7 OSI layers. Okay, so for ad hoc also we can design those kind of thing. It will not be exactly the OSI layer we find in case of TCP IP, but yes, for ad hoc also we can find some kind of layered kind of a structure. It is possible. Okay. Ad hoc network function is having two things. One is called as routing, one is called as forwarding. And what are exactly those things? I'll be explaining in the next hour. So this session I'm stopping here. If you are having any doubt, please let me know those doubts in the next session as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm stopping here now. If you are having doubts, you can ask me now, or you can ask me in the start of the next session. So please come back in 10 minutes time, and we'll start the next session from 12 o'clock exactly. Okay, so I stop it. Thanks. Bye.